let me tell you something. If a person can walk from Guatemala all the way to North Carolina and take my job, then maybe that's my fault. Maybe I made some bad decisions in life, but that's all they want to talk about.
Welcome to the Ken Harbaugh Show. I've got Richard Ojeda, OJ, on the show today, one of my favorite vets out there, telling the truth, raising hell, making life miserable for MAGA in the best possible way. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you for those kind words. And yeah, you're right. It's a fight and we got to all get in.
Yeah, we do. I was just commenting before I hit record on your amazing background there. You have earned every single one of those. I don't think I've seen a rack that impressive in a long time. Can you share with folks your military background briefly, those who don't know the real you?
Well, I spent 24 years in the military, loved every minute of it. I think it was the greatest thing that I ever did. But there were some ups and there were some downs. A lot of family time that you ended up missing. But I loved it. I'm very supportive of our veteran community. And right now, as a veteran, I mean, some of the richest people on the face of the earth are now looking at us and acting like we're getting fat off of our benefits. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to go silent. This cannot be accepted. They sent us to war for 20 straight years, and everybody that went multiple times. And now that is over, now they're going back on their promises and they're trying to take things from us. And you know what? We can't let them have that. I'm not going to sit here and allow a person who was born with a father who owned a blood diamond mine, a guy that makes more money than I make in a month in a second, tell me that I don't deserve what I have earned. So, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are feeling the same way that I am.
Let's be specific about who we're talking about. We're talking about billionaires. In the case of Musk and his coterie, the Ramaswamy Musk team that is gutting government, we're talking about the Trump family of draft dodgers. We're talking about people who have no idea what it means to serve, much less sacrifice, saying that you don't deserve your benefits.
That's exactly what it is. And once again, they have never known a day of struggle in their entire lives. And, a lot of people, they're talking about, we don't think you should be able to draw your retirement and your disability. Well, I draw my retirement because I spent 20 plus years in the United States military. I draw my disability because over those years, you broke me. You sent me to combat zones multiple times. I've had a foot surgery, 3 knee surgeries, both shoulder rotator cuff surgeries, traumatic brain injury, lower back, middle back, upper back, neck, everything, disc slipped, hearing loss, tinnitus. I got it all. And most people that spent 20 plus years in the military have the same thing. And we've got people right now that don't think that we deserve to get those, those different, pays that we get. They're also wanting to cut the Veterans Administration, the health care that we get. And, the cuts that they want to do is going to make it harder for us to be able to get, local care. It's going to make it harder for us to get appointments with our doctors. And once again, these are the kind of people that went to the Army-Navy game, by the way. These are the kind of people that will knock over an old lady to get a photograph of a veteran stepping off of an aircraft to just come home from a combat zone. And now they're going to be the kind of people they're going to try to take from us. And are we going to sit back and let these people who have never picked up a rifle and manned a post, who never had the courage to walk a mile in our shoes, take from us? Yeah. Good luck.
We got a lot of civilians who watch this show. I think some of them come for exactly these conversations. But Richard, can you talk about what a single jump does to the human body? I've never met a paratrooper, especially a career paratrooper, who didn't have lifelong back problems. Can you talk about what they are asking men and women to do when they jump out of an airplane and why disability exists?
So understand, when a lot of people think about jumping out of airplanes, they think about, people up there flying down, nice and smooth, easy landings. No, we don't have parachutes like that. We actually drop at a low altitude. In combat, you will drop as low as 500 feet above the ground. And it takes your parachute 250 feet to be able to catch air. So that's how close. But usually for training in a regular airborne operation for training, we'll jump about 1,200 feet. Understand that our parachute falls 18 feet per second. So imagine jumping out of an airplane where you have your gear, your rucksack, which is in front of you, which could be as much as 115 pounds. On top of that, you have your reserve parachute right here in front of you. Behind, you have 60 pounds of parachute. You have on your side your weapon with the 1950 weapons case, and that's what you're going to jump with. And make no mistake about it, we go through training, and it's all about landing with the balls of feet, calf, thigh, buttocks, push-up muscle. But really, it's feet, ass, head. That's how it pretty much lands. And I'm going to tell you, most of the time, people get concussions often. I had one airborne operation, and this is where the reason why they denied me my Purple Heart from a traumatic brain injury in Iraq is because they can't decide that it didn't happen during that airborne operation that I got a concussion, because I had a jump and I hit my head really, really bad. I went home and I fell asleep and I slept for 17 hours. I woke up and I thought I was asleep for a couple hours. 17 hours had passed. I went straight to the hospital. They diagnosed me with a severe concussion, but that's how it is. And make no mistake about it. You know, out of all those jumps, I'd say 1 out of 5 was you know, I mean, it is what it is. We beat our bodies up, but you know what? That's what you got to do if you want to stay in the world of the paratrooper. And I love that. I love that because paratroopers, I mean, General Gavin said, you know, show me a man who'll jump out of an airplane and I'll show you somebody who will fight. And that's the kind of people that you want to be around if that's the job that you want to do.
Well, as a Navy pilot, our goal was to stay in the airplane, but I'll give credit where credit is due. You didn't point out why you fall at 18 feet per second. It's because you're going to get shot at, right? There's a reason you want to get to the ground.
That's right. The more you're up here, the longer you're a target. So we drop fast. Our parachutes come down quick and hard. And that's why it's so important when you go to like jump school. The whole first week that you're in jump school, you're jumping off of things 3 feet tall just to learn how to shift your body properly when you're going down. I mean, that's the way that it is. And we beat our bodies up severely. And, you know, now we got people that don't think we deserve what we get. And I'm going to tell you, anybody who spent 20 years in the military deserves their 100%. Because if you served in the world of the special operations, airborne, sapper, ranger, special, if you served in those worlds, I guarantee you, your body is spent. I go to the gym every single day, 7 days a week, just to maintain my ability. But make no mistake about it, I live in pain, and that's a fact.
It's Ken Harbaugh. A quick break to say thank you for all the support. If you value what we do here, please consider joining our Patreon community. The holidays are almost upon us, and if you are still wondering what to get for that hard-to-shop-for person in your life, consider a Patreon gift membership. Every dollar goes back into our work. Go to patreon.com/Ken Harbaugh to check it out. Back to the show. I love how you bring that fighting spirit to politics. You did when you were in the West Virginia legislature. You do still today in your takedowns of the billionaires and the oligarchs and the Trump family syndicate. What can Democrats learn from the veterans amongst our ranks about how to take this moment with the seriousness it deserves?
And look, you know, we are in a fight. You know, everybody always talks about, oh, this is the most important election of your life. And this last one this was the most important election of our life. We are all going to be affected because of this right now. And once again, you know, the man who told over 30,000 verified lies during his first 4 years lied to you again and told you that this time he was going to lower prices and do all these great things. And he's not going to do none of those things because he can't do any of those things. He's a buffoon. You know, your grocery prices aren't going to go down because he's going to tariff Canada and Mexico, and they're going to fight back. So we're in this fight. So now 2026 is the most important election of our life. Because make no mistake about it, if we don't take back the House and we don't take back the Senate, This jackaloon is not going to leave. He will not leave. I guarantee you over the next 2 years, guaranteed, he's going to do things that will be impeachable. So we have to take back the House, take back the Senate to impeach him again, and then finally get rid of him in the Senate. And that's what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you, I believe there'll be plenty of people that will be ready for that. Because once again, Donald Trump isn't coming to your aid. All of you jackaloons that bought those Trumpaloon hats and wore them everywhere, you think that guy's going to do for you. He's not going to do for you. It's going to get much worse, much worse.
It's going to get worse. And I mean, there is a saving grace in that Trump now has all the levers of power. It's going to be a heck of a lot harder to blame drag queens, right, for the price of groceries, to blame all of these scapegoats that he has been able to target for the last 4 years. He's in charge, and God, I hope that pulls the blinders off of some people's eyes, because we need to be in the find out stage of F around and find out.
You know, this is the thing is that when you are a representative, first and foremost, your job is to go to Washington, D.C. and represent your people. Your people. Republicans don't do that. They get to Washington, D.C., rub shoulders with each other, try to figure out how they can use some of that insider trading to make themselves all multimillionaires, but they get nothing done. I mean, look at the garbage that these people have been spewing. You know, Comer has been the head of a committee that hasn't done nothing but spew garbage. They haven't come to any facts. They haven't arrested anybody. And that's why I think it's the 119th Congress is literally the only Congress that has ever been worse was the one during the Great Depression. I mean, and if you look at the bills that the Republicans were able to pass in the last, legislative session, 2 of them were naming coins, commemorative coins that you can give out to people. I mean, it's embarrassing, and it's about time that we start sending people. Let me tell you something. Where I come from, the Republican that ran and won in my district, he didn't do anything. He didn't say anything about what he was going to do to help these people. Not going to elevate anybody out of poverty, not help teachers, not help the elderly. He literally sent flyers to my house every other day that said, build the wall, shut down the border. Let me tell you something. If a person can walk from Guatemala all the way to North Carolina and take my job, then maybe that's my fault. Maybe I made some bad decisions in life, but that's all they want to talk about. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody has used Trump, Trump, Trump. That's about to sour, and I think it's going to sour quite quickly when all these people when they wake up and realize that their grocery prices isn't going down, that their gas isn't going down. Not only is it not going to go down, if Canada decides to shut off the electricity and the natural gas and regular gas flow to America, get ready. Get ready for $6 gallon gas. Get ready for that. And oh, by the way, if Mexico decides to also hit us back, get ready for $9 packages of tomatoes. If you don't have a garden, you better learn how to grow one now, because you're going to need it under Donald Trump's next 2 years. I say 2 and not 4 because we have to take things back. And the Republicans aren't going to do anything except try to attack people. I'm going to tell you right now that the billionaire class is scared, get ready for some gun reform. They told you for years that the Democrats were coming for your guns. And now, mark my words, we're going to start to see some gun reform in America because billionaires are scared, because people are starting to wake up and realize we don't need you. Well, it's time to eat the rich, brother. It's time to eat the rich.
Richard, I always appreciate your enthusiasm. Keep up the fight online. Keep it online. We're going to keep it out of the real world.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for 2026? I'm giving you an opportunity here.
I will tell you that I do have plans for 2026. I'm not going to announce anything right yet, but make no mistake about it, I'm in this fight. Awesome. I am in this fight. I have to be. There's no other way. There's nothing else I can do.
Thank you, Richard. Honored to have you on. Let's do it again soon.
Thanks, my brother. Airborne.